Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I'm out at my granny camp, which is my remote Alaska off-grid cabin. I love coming out here in the summer and spending a lot of time and just getting away from it all. And sometimes I think about what would it be like if you actually needed to bug out? What would make a good bug out location? I always just think of this as granny camp, but what if I actually needed to bug out? What are the best places to bug out, and what are the characteristics of a location that you need to look at? The first characteristic of a successful bug out location would be somewhere away from the city. You probably wouldn't be able to walk there, but you would need to probably be able to get there with one tank of gas. If you look at what's going on in the cities, the protests, the rioting, the looting, the anarchy, it's a good time for thinking about where would I go, what should I do, what kind of place can I look for. The cities just may not be safe. So you need to find a place that you could get out of the city. You need to probably be able to get there with one tank of gas in case there's major disruptions. Gas stations aren't open and you're not able to access more fuel along the way. You would want to find a place that's secluded, that's off of a main road, maybe hidden off in the trees, and have more than one way to get there. Know an alternate route around to where your bug out location could be located. Then what do you need at your bug out location? You need a shelter, something to get out of the wind, the rain, the cold, and even the heat and the sun if you're in a very hot desert summer climate. You need to have a stockpile of supplies, food, water, tools, lanterns, flashlights, first aid kits, all the same things that you would need no matter where you were located in an emergency situation. It's great if you can have a water source, and if you do, then make sure you have a way to filter the water, because the last thing you need in an emergency is to drink unsafe water and make yourself sick. Your bug out location should be a place that you could hunker down, stay for a while until whatever it is blows over. Make sure you have some sort of communication, whether it's a cell phone or radio, so that you know what's going on around you. You need to be able to determine when it's safe, where it's safe, and when you might need to bug out and leave the location that you are. An important part of your bug out plan is your bug out vehicle. You need to think about, what if I had to bug out? I don't really know a location. What if I have to live in my car? What can you do to make your vehicle ready for you to bug out and stay in your car if that's what you need to do? Figure out where there's room for you to sleep. Figure out where you can put layers of clothes so that you can put more on if it's cold, take them off, stow them away when you don't need to have them on. Look at ways to store and organize things like food, utensils, water, and all of the supplies that you would absolutely need. Make sure you only take the absolute necessities. Don't clutter up your vehicle with unnecessary gear and supplies. Take just the basics. Think of your car like a bug out vehicle. What do you put in your bug out bag? And those are the categories that you're going to need in your bug out vehicle. You're going to need some food, water, utensils, and a way to heat or prepare your food. You can look at little backpacking stoves. Make a little alcohol stove. Never cook in your car. Make sure you set it outside and cook outside your car so you don't start a fire in your car or be at risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. Canned foods are heavy, but dehydrated foods require extra water. Try to plan the simplest meals possible that require the least amount of preparation. Make sure you have trash bags so that you can get rid of any empty cans, food containers, any trash. Don't clutter up your vehicle, which is now your little home. Have an idea where you can go. Are there campgrounds near you, parks, out of the way, maybe BLM, Forest Service, public lands that are a little bit remote? Maybe you're allowed to just stop and camp there. Check out the public lands, the campgrounds, the parks around you ahead of time so that you know what the regulations are and you know about seasonal road closures. You don't want to be trapped or unable to get in or out of some place that you thought might be safe to go. Make sure you have paper maps of any areas where you're going to be traveling to so that you're familiar with what's going on. In rural areas, don't just rely on GPS, because a lot of times they send you to roads that don't exist Forest Service roads that don't go through. And you've heard about people on the news who have followed a dirt road because the GPS told them to and ended up getting stranded in a remote area and sometimes losing their life. Don't rely on GPS, rely on paper maps that you know are accurate. You can look online, you can find there are lots of people who actually live in their cars, they live in their vans, maybe they bring a tent along, they have a mattress in the back, and they have figured out how they can carry food, water filters, fire starters, camping stoves, and all kinds of gear. Check it out for ideas on how you can make your vehicle suit your family and your needs. Maybe you need a roof rack or a way to organize the trunk of your car or the bed of your pickup. Look for nooks and crannies and figure out how you can adequately carry the things you need while you still have room for yourselves if you need to stay in your car. You can put your food in a cooler, set the cooler outside at night so that you have room to lie down. You can even find portable toilets. Portable toilets aren't ideal, but they certainly make it more comfortable when you need to relieve yourself in a hardship situation. Have a well-stocked first aid kit, some hygiene supplies, and any medicine that you rely on. Have copies of your identification, your insurance information, and a written out paper with your emergency contact information on it. Everyone needs cash. Make sure you have some small bills and get as much as you can and put it with your emergency gear. If you really needed to bug out and then you had to rely on living out of your car or in a remote location, there's going to be things that you're going to need, and possibly having cash can help save the day. It's up to you to determine, where do I live, where could I go, how could I get there, and what's the safest possible way to protect myself and my family. No one wants to think about leaving their home. It's our castle. It's our safe place that we love. We have all the things around us that we know that we need. We have that normalcy bias of, this is great, we're home, it's at peace, it's our castle, and everything is going to be fine. But in the blink of an eye, things can change. You may have a hurricane, you may have a tornado, you may have a forest fire requiring you to evacuate. There are all kinds of emergencies that could force you out of your home. Be ready with your bug out bag. Go through it carefully, make sure that it's complete, check it out seasonally and update it. Then have a plan. What would you need in your car? How could you make yourselves comfortable? And where could you possibly go if you needed to? Being a prepper means you've taken control of your life. You're ready to face all of the tragedies, all of the consequences, all of the emergencies that come along. We don't know what's coming, and if we look at what's been happening in the world lately, it's all the more reason it's important to make a plan and be prepared. Then no matter what the future brings, you'll be able to face it to the best of your ability because you prepared. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might enjoy it. Learn more at alaskagranny.com, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.